Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a tutorial on this look right here. This is literally my favorite go-to 5-minute quickie out the door glam look. Yes, I can spend a little bit more time on it when I want to try to really kind of perfect it and get everything really perfect. But even if I'm just in a hurry, I still will do all of these same steps and just kind of create a look very similar to this right here. It's got the Smokey pulled out wing. That's kind of a gradient ombre effect. It has a soft socket contour with just a matte lid I did and just a little tiny pop of shimmer on the inner corner. This is my favorite go-to look. So if you guys want to see how I created it, then just keep watching. If you're new here, welcome to the video. My name is Lauren Jade. I am 57. I have mature, crepey, wrinkly skin with hooded eyes that are slightly downturned. So as you can well imagine, I don't follow a typical YouTube cookie cutter tutorial where they all go into the crease with a large fluffy brush. So I do things a little bit differently on my channel. As you guys that have followed me and watched me for a while, you guys know. So all right, that's it. Let's just keep this intro really kind of short. Well, that's short for me because I like to ramble. Oh, by the way, I did use the 35G Bronze Gold palette. Looks like this right here. I also kind of dipped into a couple of other things that you guys will see throughout the tutorial, but yeah, that's it. Okay, enough rambling. Let's just get on with this tutorial. Okay, so I already went ahead and I primed my eyes. I used MAC's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre as always, and I lightly set that with a little bit of translucent powder. And I've already went ahead and created my fake crease, as you can see, and I did not wing this out. I just went in the natural contour of my eye shape, if that makes any sense. So I'm basically right in the hollow of the eye, if you will, so right inside that socket. And I'm directly above my natural crease, about 2 to 3 millimeters, because when you have hooded eyes, you want to create that fake crease above your natural crease. This will do a couple things. You'll get more lid space, which is always a good thing, right? And you want to be able to see this when your eyes are open and you're looking straight ahead. So you take this up a little bit higher than your natural crease. And to create this, I use the LC Minimalist palette, and I always grab this shade right here. It's a warm brick sienna shade, and I always use that for my fake crease because it literally just meshes in with almost all of my everyday eye looks that I do. So that is what I did. I'm going to use this little e.l.f. flat definer brush, and I'm just going to tap out the edges of that crease line. I'm not going to disturb the middle body and right towards the bottom because I want that to stay dark and I want that to be the deepest part, so it's going to be kind of like a gradient. And as I'm smoothing out the edges here into kind of a nice soft fade, this is just going to help in the overall blending process so that the shades that go above that, which is primarily, I think I'm just going to do a bronzer today, it'll just kind of buff right into that. And I like that dark to light contrast, so whatever I have on my lid, I always make sure that my crease line is the deepest at the base. That way I really get that nice dark to light contrast. So I'm just going to buff out these edges here. I'm just using the RCMA translucent powder. I do this when I'm working a lot with bright colors, just to catch any fallout, but for today I'm just doing it to kind of set my under eye. Alright, so I'm going to be using this palette. This is the Bronze Gold palette from Morphe. The 35G palette looks like this. And I'm going to grab this reddish brown shade right here. I am going to do kind of a pulled out, kind of a cat eye smoky wing. But I'm also going to do a little baby wing. I'm going to do kind of a black wing kind of inside this smoky wing. So I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker on the outer corner here. I'm also kind of smudging it a little bit into the lash line. I'm just making it a little bit thicker out here. It's going to kind of stamp here and just kind of connect it to the end. Just kind of create that little wing, pull it in, and just kind of connect it. All right, I'm going to put in the darker part now of the wing, and then I'm going to smoke this out a little bit farther once I get the actual deep part of the wing. I'm going to grab this black and this brown and mix these two shades together. So as always, I'm just using my Makeup Forever flat to finer brush, and I'm just kind of wiggling and stamping really. I'm just kind of going right in between the lashes just to make them kind of thick, not really tight lining, but just kind of getting right inside those lashes there. And then when I get to the end, I'm making it a little bit thicker, and I'm just gonna like stamp right here, and then I'm just going to drag it in. I just want a little black wing inside of that brown smoky wing. So it's going to kind of be a gradient from brown to, well, it's going to be light brown up here, and then it's going to get a little darker brown, and then it's going to go to the black. Okay, so by mixing that brown and that black, I got a very rich, kind of a chocolatey black almost, because I didn't want to do solid black, if that makes any sense, but I really wanted a deep brownish black. So I mixed the two shades, and now you can see I have my little baby wing. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pencil brush, and I'm going to smoke out a little wing, another wing right on top of this, and kind of elongate it, I guess, if you will, and pull that one out into a cat eye. This one has more of an upturn, so it kind of gives me that little lifted eye effect, and now I want to elongate as well. I don't want to use a really dark brown shade, though, to smoke this out, because then it'll just be too dark. So I'm going to grab this shade right here. So now I have this kind of a smoky gradient going on where I have that dark kind of brownish black shade closest to the lash line, and then I have it smoked upwards into a gradient with a very soft wing that's kind of pulled out. I'm going to bronze my crease now, and I'm going to use the Benefit. This is from the Cheek Leader palette. I have both the Bronze Squad and the Pink Squad. This one is the Pink Squad. I'm going to grab the Hoola bronzer right here. Am wearing the Morphe Icon bronzer, which looks like this. Now, I did get this in both shades, but this is the lighter of the two shades that it came in. But when I bronze my crease, I really like to, for the most part, I always use the Hoola bronzer because it's a neutral bronzer and gives a really nice shade and just gives a really, I don't know, I guess natural would be a good word. I just love it. It just gives a nice natural sultry fade right here in the front, which is what I like. So I'm going to grab a tiny bit, and I always use the Sigma E35 for this step, primarily because it's kind of flat and fluffy, and it pretty much does the work for you when you do circular motion. So I always tap a little bit out on the end, and I'm going to take this pretty much like right on that crease line. So right on my socket bone, a little bit above. Just kind of swirl this. It's also softening that crease line as well, which is why I don't go into grave detail and do a lot of blending with my little fake crease, because once I put in these colors, it just kind of blends it out for me. I'm going to grab a tiny bit more and just kind of take this to the inner corner here and just kind of swirl this and brush this up towards the brow for that inner corner sultry fade, which I like. I'm also taking this down into the nose contour, just this bridge right here, and just kind of connecting it. Just going to really buff out these edges here. Make it nice and airy. I like that flawless airbrushed finish out here. I just do not like heavy colors out here, so that's why I never wing out my shadows, hardly ever, because I just don't like a lot of color out here. I like to keep it nice and airy. And I know you probably can't tell, but I'm really hardly applying any pressure here. It's just very light circular motions. I'm going to lighten up my lid space, and I'm going to grab this shade right here. And I'm not sure if this is going to end up being light enough. I may need to grab okay, yeah, that's not light enough. So I'm going to take from the LC Minimalist palette, I'm going to go in and grab this white shade right here. I don't even think I'm going to do, this is much better because I really want a little bit more of that contrast. I really want that lid to pop. I don't think I'm going to even do shimmer with this look. I think I'm just going to put in a little pop of brightness on the inner corner. All right, I think I'm going to grab this shade right here from the Jaclyn Hill palette right here and use this shade as my inner corner highlight. And boom! I always like to make sure I have a nice bright inner corner. All right, I'm wiping away my powder and I'm going to grab my little Sephora Pro angled brush right here, and I'm just going to go over the border. I call it the border because I don't know what it's called. It's the area where the shimmer meets the matte crease shades, and just going to smooth that out in case there's any little jagged edges. I like for it to, and I also like putting a tiny bit of color too right over the shimmer. It just kind of makes it look like it's just kind of melted together. I'm going to grab this little flat brush right here and a little bit of this white shade right here and just kind of clean up. I'm going to spray with my Kylie setting spray right here and dry. All right, guys, that completes the look. This is my everyday go-to natural glam look. There you have it. Super quick and easy. I love it. I hope you guys do too. And if you guys recreate it, make sure you tag me. Let me know. I'd love to see your recreations. All right, that's it. Mwah. Love you guys. I will see you in my next one. Bye.